Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. You are watching a best of three traditional cube draft on MTG Arena in a true holiday miracle fashion. Wizards has decided to not be a Grinch and let us have best of three cube for an extra week. That's really the meaning of the season, is to put the cube back in Cubemas. So I'm excited to be going back for another one of these. I spent Monday drafting a little bit of Zendikar and then wasn't feeling very well. And apparently what I needed was some time to hang out with Sim Wife and Cube to be restored. Because now I'm feeling a little better. Chat, you may now say hello to YouTube. All right, so what do we want to build around? I just had a sacrifice deck that was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. And that leads me to be interested at least in the Bastion of Membrance, because it seems to be a deck that people are not really looking to make. And I've been having a blast with it. Like, objectively, the most powerful card here is probably the Hostage Taker, but I don't feel compelled to do that. Well, you could play the Thief too. The Champion of Woods is pretty cool. Yeah, but I think what I found is that the decks... Okay, I would like everyone in YouTube to comment with hello to Orcish Artillery. I think the decks that have a legitimate plan, or I don't know that they're necessarily better, but they're certainly more fun. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I've made a good sack deck in Mardu colors and in Jund colors and been pretty dang happy with it. We could also end up getting past something like an Obliterator and decide we're just going to do mono black. I'm not opposed to that either. Just going to take Never to Return here. Like, let's have a good removal spell. And I'm not going to force this. Like, we can get out of it and play something else, but I've really enjoyed that deck. This pack's a bit of a head scratcher, but I think still comes down to the Skycleave Shade. That puts us in a position to do mono black things, sacrifice things, just good card things. I don't hate Bloodchief's Thirst either, and if there's a possibility we're going to go into like a control-y deck, I could see that. But that would surprise me a little bit since we passed both of the blue-black gold cards. There's going to be somebody that sees those and just like, yoinks, we're playing this. So I still have an idea of where I want to go. I haven't done this yet. But I also really like Vraska's Contempt. Are we just going to mono black? Pass me an Obliterator, somebody. I'll get in. Is this the good Liliana? It kills things. You need a way to get stuff in your graveyard. Like, you can discard a Shade for value. This is at least an okay Liliana. And it does have a threatening ultimate. Maybe we're just going mono black.
This battle is going to end on my terms.
I've done that once and I liked it. It's because I first picked a Obliterator and then kind of forced it, but it was a good time. Looking at something kind of like this so far. This one isn't the one that needs zombies. This is the one that just needs stuff in the graveyard. So right now the Bastion is actually looking a little bit awkward here, but we could still move into something like that if the right pieces are passed. The Priest of Forgotten Gods is actually, I think, the biggest piece to this deck. So seeing something like that would get me pretty excited. Elspeth's Nightmare is okay, right? It kills a little thing. You get a card. Exile their graveyard. That's a bit of a nombo with Liliana, but it's still fine. Yeah, I think we can probably take this just because I don't have a clear direction yet. Other than I'm taking black cards. Well, there's Weaponize, and it's kind of time, I think, to decide where we'd like to go. Because we can take the Weaponize and have a bit of a Rakdos sack deck started. I don't think the God Pharaoh's Gift is actually something we're interested in currently, although I like it. If we'd seen it sooner, I might have gone in that direction. I feel a little compelled to take the Eldest Reborn and see if this mono black dream is going to come true. Because I don't really have the token production. We're kind of building like sort of a mono black control deck, which again is making these cards seem a little bit suspicious, but I like the God Pharaoh's Gift a lot in ramp decks, where you can play a couple of elves, ramp it out, trade off the elves, get them back as 4/4s. And there's some colorless ramp here too. But I haven't seen a reason to pick a card that isn't black yet, other than that Weaponize. There's been a lot of decent blue, so if those blue-black, any of those blue-black cards wheel, that would be the excuse to get into it. This is the last fresh pack here, so we'll see the wheel in just a minute. Well, apparently actually a minute. We may have a chair drafter. Archfiend really... Archfiend is interesting if we're going to play it with the Liliana, because we could potentially play it out, plus discard a card, shrink their team, or cycle it to get something in the bin so that we can do damage. I think this is actually a deck that's very interested in the Archfiend. Yeah, both of these came back, and we saw some indications that these might be useful here. So I think this is our sign to maybe consider at least a light touch of one of these other colors. The Vraska may arguably work better with some of these cards, because this Bastion just doesn't fit. But I think if nobody at the table wants to be blue-black, I'm pretty happy being blue-black. I'm going to take the Thief. I think it's more fun. But I'm still not necessarily opposed to just mono-black. Tome will be good with this. Sure. We can play that too. So like maybe we want to play these cards, maybe not. If we did, I suppose it's possible we could play this. Not seeing a lot of fixing to go with it. I don't like Agonizing Remorse. I'm just going to take the Silent Departure because it feels like blue is just very open here. If we get some good fixing, I'll consider playing the blue cards. If I get an Obliterator, I may just forget about it. Yeah, I had a plan that we were going to go for sacrificey things, but I don't think we actually are. Mythos is 3 mana kill a thing. I like that. That Nightmare Shepherd has been pretty cool in some decks, but we don't really have a lot going on with that currently. I like the idea of trying to build around Demonic Pact, but I don't feel like the payoffs are necessarily there. And we're playing so few creatures, I don't know that I want the boat. This deck wants like a Divination or a Phyrexian Arena. Some sort of card draw shenanigans. So I think I'd like two, one of them being the tome. I don't know that I have enough creatures that we're going to do anything with this, so I kind of just want to keep taking removal spells and see if we can find some card draw and kill them that way. This is a deck that might actually play that Thoughtseize, which is interesting because I don't think I'm going to spin it. I also don't think I want the Immortal Sun, but I think I'm going to take the Fabled Passage. There's a pretty strong chance we want to play at least the Thief of Sanity here. And that doesn't look too hard to fit in if you have a Fabled Passage. I mentioned we wanted a Phyrexian Arena. I don't know if I want it more than Gonti. I kind of want both of these cards. Yeah, I think the arena's more likely to wheel. But I really want it. I wish they'd been in separate packs. Are we a mono black deck that doesn't want Gary? Because I'm not sure I've seen one of those yet. But like, we're barely playing any permanents. I'm still going to take it. Because like, I feel like we're eventually going to fill this out with some creatures. It's a Hedron Archive. I can take that. I could also play this as one of the blue sources. But I like Hedron Archive a lot. Cruel Reality? Now there's a plan. How exactly are we going to get to 1,000,000 mana? I don't precisely know. We could also look at the Gear Hulk and just accept that blue-black is a little more likely what we're doing. The double pips concern me, but we've got a lot of instants to replay with it. Right, like, we could do Mythos and this. Okay, so by a lot of instants, I mean exactly 2. I don't think I want a Skellington. I'm going to take this and see if it works out. I really need a couple more duels. Sure, you can play. I'm going to have to use these removal spells early. Wonder if we would want Gutter Bones. Just to make sure we have something to do early. Because, like, obviously we'd be interested in Rankle. But I feel like my early game is severely lacking. Rankle's very fun, but I need to pick up some stuff to do earlier. We're just going to get run over. It's like we're hoping to wheel some stuff to do later. Was this... No, the next pack, I think, was the one I was supposed to be able to get the arena from, and I didn't. And this makes me sad. Cycling Land's fine, though. Even plays nicely with the Archfiend. Does our deck want this? I guess it's a tap land at worst. I still feel like we've ended up mostly mono black. Could splash a Bedevil pretty easily. If we feel like we need it. And there's a little bit more card draw if we go the blue route. Cryptbreaker is actually one of the cards I was hoping for. Because that gives us all of the early game that we could ever need. It can also just win a game on its own if it's not answered. It's another way to kind of interact with the Archfiend as well. But right now, I still don't see a reason not to be mono black. I just need to fill out this part of the curve, so we've got enough stuff to do early. So like probably end up not even playing the Fabled Passage. I'd mainly just be playing this as a land that has cycling. One of the reasons you want to play 17 lands in a deck is so that you can hit both colors. If you're not playing a deck that's 2 colors, you can kind of cheat on land a little bit, and having those extra cyclers is super nice for that. This is kind of exactly what we're looking for. Like, it's a nice early blocker. Can trade with anything, dies into something else. I'd really like to have the Space Godzilla too and kind of build more into this Archfiend. I think there's enough support for it in the cube, but I don't think I can take... Like I was just saying, we need to have more early stuff. All right, so what are the chances we can wheel that Obliterator? Because I really want the Languish. Do you think I'm the only mono black drafter? I hope I am. I guess worst case scenario, we wheel Disfigure, which I'd be happy about, or the Triumph, which I'd be happy about. Because Languish is just a very unique effect. Plaguecrafter's fine too. I've got too many cards. It's tough. Plaguecrafter with Nightmare Shepherd's actually pretty cool. Like, I kind of don't have room for the Obliterator at this point. We should make room for a Murderous Rider, though. Like, that's our last card, and we're kind of done. Because now I got to start making cuts. Well, hello there. All right, so Nightmare Shepherd may need to beat it, because I'm playing that. If I'm playing a 4-mana ramp artifact, I'm playing a Massacre Worm. My goodness, we've got Bontu and Acquisitions Expert. I don't think I need another big thing to win the game with. I've already got that. This is the part of the curve that's looking rough. I don't think I'm playing this Bastion now. This would be nice if we think we're ever going to bring the blue in, but I think I'd rather just take an Epic Downfall. Need any of this? We can have a vault in the size board. We spun Space Godzilla, which I think we're interested in. Capricorn, thank you for the raid. Y'all spam some cats for Capricorn. We did it, Reddit. Got literally everything we wanted. I'm going to have to make some intense cuts here. I don't know that Nightmare is good enough at this point. Much appreciated, my friend. Do you stream Magic as well? Probably not likely to play that, but we could. The Skyclave Shade looks a little out of place here too. Do we want Veto? I don't think we want Veto, but we can have access to Veto. We didn't get the enchantment that's the 2-card combo with him. Like, we've got a little bit of life gain, but not a lot of bet. That's a nice pickup. Hey, J. Marty, thank you for the gift sub. Welcome to the Fat Cat Club, Capricorn. Thank you very much, Marty. So I need 2 cuts here if we're going to count these as lands, which I think we are. Or is that just 1 cut? 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And I think I'm okay playing the 17 given the amount of card draw we ended up with. And the fact that 2 of my lands are going to be cycling. So it kind of does feel like the Shade just doesn't really match up with what we're trying to do. Like, I feel like the deck's looking to be a little control-y, and that's just not really part of it. It's a really good card, but I want to be able to block. So I think I can get behind this. Now, if you're going to run mono black, you need to make sure you have the correct assortment of swamps. I think that's very important. That one's pretty cool. I like that one too. This one has like rocket ships on it and stuff. Yeah, I think we ended up with enough pips that we can play Gary and be pretty happy about it. That one's just cool. Got a rep Ikoria. And got a rep our Lord and Savior Nicol Bolas. We already got a Bob Ross one,
Happy
so.
Yule, Travis and chat.
Hey, Happy Yule, Mananan. Thank you very much for the resub. There is some cat spam in order. Let us spam cats for Marty and Mananan. I hope that you all have a happy holiday season. This looks good to me. Let's see what we can do with it. That's a good one, Ishtari. Breaker says, what's up? We're gonna break your crypts. No crypts will be broken. I like Obliterator a lot too. I think it's just cool. Sure would like a land here. That'd be swell. Neat.
I have the right to choose my own fate. And yours.
We may have to go for a Lily ultimate to win this one. Because they're going to be looking to mill me out with this.
We're doing things my way.
Neat. Well, they're not going to get to it if we put it on the bottom, so may as well just have another removal spell, I guess. It'd be nice if we could destroy the artifact with it, but that does not seem like something we're able to do. They may just mill me out with the dang thing. I guess it's going to have to be the Murderous Rider, which sucks.
I have no interest in fighting fair.
They kind of have to kill her now. Which I'm presuming they can. That sucks. We got to start all over. But it gives us some time. And I think time is what we're interested in.
You wish you had a fraction of my power. I really don't care about your plans.
She was ready to ultimate. This is a good sign. Alright, so their deck seems super controlling. And they're actively looking to mill us. A lot of my defensive cards I don't really want anymore. So all of a sudden something like the Shade seems very interesting to me. Bastion seems potentially playable here. Don't know that we need the Vault. But I kind of need to transition into a bit of a more aggressive deck and cut out the things that are just not going to work here. Like Languish doesn't look like it's really doing anything. But the Bedevil for what? We saw one Planeswalker and virtually no creatures from them. Like, that's just making my mana worse. Bedevil doesn't kill artifacts. Bedevil does kill artifacts. Never mind. Like, what are you talking about? You're crazy. Like, no, it was me who was crazy. Why wouldn't it kill artifacts? Creatures and planeswalkers. Not good enough. Let's blow up artifacts, too. Holy carp. I can probably afford to play one more mountain. Just to make sure we always have what we need. Oh yeah, the Fabled Passage is probably better than that. I should just let you play this deck, Snus. You got it figured out. We have another cut, probably just a spot removal spell. Like the Mythos didn't seem actually great. Yes, looks alright to me. They may have the secret sideboard tech of siding in more creatures and getting us that way. Alright, this has got some of what I wanted. Remember, they're not always going to have that folio early. Like, it's not likely they're going to just turn to it every single time, you know? I fully expect them to mill it if there's any justice. And they did. Chonk. Why wouldn't you activate it first if you're going to do it there? They missed a card, right? Oh, no. Okay, it's the number of cards in my hand. So we just need to get junk out of our hand as fast as possible. Which is going to be difficult with this draw, because I've got a lot of stuff I just can't play. I'm never really going to be able to use this against him. Yeah, at 4, I'm just dead here. Functionally. I can Thirst the Enforcer, sure, but I'm at 4 cards, and I'm going to be at 4 cards by the time they can activate that. They just got me. We weren't able to bring out enough aggression early. They do seem to be entirely creatureless. Yeah, I just need to be able to curve out a little faster against them. The Space Godzilla's not really doing anything either. It's like I'm never going to get to cast it. Maybe we just look at stuff that I can cast earlier and be happy with cheaper stuff in the deck. Like the Massacre Worm doesn't do anything. I realize this doesn't really either, but it could let me upgrade a creature potentially. And again, there's no guarantee that they're going to have that folio on turn 2 every time. All right, we've got the Bedevil. We have all of the things we need. Bugler Rat, Bugles. Maybe they have 2 of them. It is a singleton cube. That's the part that's funny.
Run now, and I might spare your life. Don't you just love the smell of death?
I set an upkeep stop. This disappoints me. Because I think that's the only thing they have that I can target with it. If you want to Gear Shark this, I'm kind of okay with it. This too. This may be the only target I have for that. We'll take it. That's a rough one. That's a rough one too. But we can get the Archfiend back anyway. They'd rather take away the cards. Okay. So what do we have lined up to get back? Obliterator's not bad. Liliana's not bad. Okay. They're at 20, so I don't think I can really get it with their Ashiok. Yeah, if they've got another removal spell, I'm just dead. If they don't, what's our best option? Probably the Obliterator, because like they can't chump block it. Well, I mean, they can. I suppose I could take the Acquisitions Expert and then play this. That's a cheeky play. That's a super cheeky play. The Archfiend has enough toughness too. The problem is if they've got a big kill spell, we could be in trouble. I don't have a lot more discard, but I think I like the Archfiend into the Nightmare Shepherd, because then I'm able to block their stuff. Like, this should be the last win condition they have going, right? I don't see a reason not to fire this off.
My dreams dissipate like smoke.
I may have something here. It's an intense game. Don't think I can afford to kick this because I need the Murderous Rider up. If they Gear Shark this, I'm just going to die to the Gear Shark. Yeah, Bastion from the sideboard is keeping us in this game. Is that actually going to threaten me? It's going to threaten me enough. Probably not as much as these do, but it's fun to kill crabs. Almost got him now. I think it's better off as a 3-1 still, but sure, we'll make a big boy. We just cast this for whatever the maximum of X is, which is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4 looks good to me. Actually, this may even be better because I can start attacking now. That one worked out. There we go. Whew, I was worried. I was worried for a moment, and then I wasn't. Welcome to Cube, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we got a Stream Raiders battle to do, and then we can proceed to the next match. That was very yeet. It's a little clunky map. I like the ones where you kind of just charge head first into the enemies. What we got there? Fort with the kills, Jacques with the assists, rewards for Lego Snus, Nathan, and Atrilos. Let's move on towards that blue chest, shall we? I will snipe. Defend me. Well, they couldn't play the spells and activate the folio, so it makes sense that they were going for that. They did have it turn 2 every game, and it wasn't a problem. Evidently, fear is not a factor for us. So the trick here is we can discard to hand size the Space Godzilla and then It's tough to send that back. No, they had both colors game 1. Where were you last turn, Crypt Breaker? I don't want this. We may be on the Crypt Breaker plan. Because that's all I got right now. That mulligan into a discard spell from them was absolutely brutal. Although I suppose I can do that. I could -3 her and then look to Eldest Reborn soon.
Every death is an opportunity to increase my influence.
Like I can just kill this, block that with the token, kind of have a plan.
I grow strong. You grow weak.
Okay, new plan is draw land. But this doesn't even kill her. Languish works.
I have no interest in fighting.
Fine, we'll just have empty boards. I've got a Planeswalker. This is rough if they have a creature. So our hope is that they're sitting on a removal spell. Again, I have bad news. Because now I need to top deck a removal spell.
I really don't care about your plans.
I care about their plans now.
Let's never cross paths again.
That would have worked out so well if they hadn't had that discard spell. Because we could have Eldest there and really gotten some action going. As it stands, I think we're looking for probably just Obliterator. Nightmare is sideboard, but I think we're very interested in bringing it in now. Acquisitions expert not doing us any good here. I think we're just getting ranched. Which is like, of all the dressings, my least favorite. Yeah, that's ranching. I don't mind them knowing that I have this to make them discard this land. But we're just taking 7 here. I don't think I actually have outs, but we may as well double check. Well, I spilled a large container of ranch dressing on my head when I worked at Pizza Hut 20 years ago. And ever since then, I've just been like, nah, dog. Don't ranch me. Languish is in the deck. It's right here. I think that counts. Yeah, it's not going to help us much there. We've got a size board for this, and that was a particularly brutal mulligan that we had to take there. But I think I'm very interested in the Nightmare. And I think I'm very interested in the Vault. I think I'm less interested in Space Godzilla here. And I think I can probably trim the Plague Crafter, frankly. Like, they had so much recurable crap that I don't think that's going to get the job done. But Nightmare should be very good for us. Let's see if we can get a better opener. Like, having to mulligan into the discard from them was just brutal. If they hadn't taken that land, we would have discarded it and then had the mana to play the Eldest Reborn right when we needed it. Okay, this isn't pretty, but we can do something with it. We need to draw more lands, but I put more lands in the deck. With the intent of drawing them. And if I have to cycle the Archfriend, I can cycle the Archfriend. I think here we'll just go along with the normal plan. If there's a deck that's playing that, you need to kill it. What does this make me do? They're going to choose what I discard.
You wish you had a fraction of my power.
No coward check? Good morning, Terrell. I am feeling better today. Let's leave me with 2 5-drops that I can cast and I'm pretty happy about.
Sorry for your loss.
Because like whichever one of the other ones I discard, they got me. But with the Archfiend, if I top deck a land and we start doing this, it could do something. Then again, I may just be discarding the Archfriend. It's good to be cubing. It's really good to be cubing.
You think too much.
Them discarding my graveyard is not great here. I was using that. Because I kind of got all my eggs in this here basket. That's enough to just 7 her. Like it's done. That was the game.
Sorry for your loss.
Our graves have been broken by this particular Lamia. I'm not entirely sure what we would need to get back into this, but it needs to be something that can kill the Lamia and then begin to disrupt their graveyard. Loyalty's at 7, but it's about to be at 0.
This was a wasted opportunity.
This is really not the droid we were looking for. Because that 7 power lifelink is going to be something. I got a 2-3 menace though. That's pretty great. I guess either way, mono black wins. So realistically, we're doing pretty good. This is cool because we can reanimate Just dead. I don't want to be just dead. Yeah, paying 3 life to speed up their clock may be our best option here. That Elspeth shenanigans was so good against us. Their removal... I assumed they had a removal spell to just wreck me here. Man, they got our goat. I guess they got their own goat. I'm still in it. Because they can't cast this over and over. They've only got 31 life to work with. I could, but I also can't. Because if they don't cast it this turn, they're a monster. So now I need a 2-mana removal spell. It's not going to... I did the thing! We got the Obliterator! No! No! I was obliterated by my own petard. I mean, 'tis a moral victory, for sure. And either way, Mono Black wins, so really nothing to be upset about there. That was a rough one. Their draws were way better. There's a distinct possibility their deck was just better. Because getting my graveyard exiled was rough, and not being able to exile theirs was particularly rough too. I've had a lot of fun with this cube. It just feels like there's a lot of different directions you can take it. All right, I like the party. This draw cannot compete with that. Okay, if they don't have a 2, maybe we can start to party. Because Plaguecrafter ain't going to do nothing once they've got enough mana to activate that. I feel a little unlikely that the Obliterator is going to be able to get the job done, but we'll see. I have a suspicion that it's just going to get removed. That is an anointed procession. Thought maybe they wanted to trade everybody for that. Kind of disappointed they didn't, but it looks like they can read. This disappoints me greatly. I probably at this point need to sit back, draw cards, and wait for a big languish. Dang it! I was using that. Yeah, I can't think of anything we could do against this deck, realistically. I don't know how we win. Wanna make a token in response? That'd be cool. That was pretty good. Gary does just win. He wins this way. If we make that attack, he wins even if they deal with the Massacre Worm. Languish also just wins currently if they don't deal with the Massacre Worm. But I needed to get that hit in so that Gary's lethal. Boop. All right, so Plaguecrafter looking a little crappy. Looking a little bad. Do not want to be Plaguecrafting. Not against that nonsense. I might just want to vault. Like, why not have 3 Wraths against that deck? And one that actually cleans up every dang thing. Elspeth's Nightmare is interesting here too, because they've got a reasonable amount of non-creature cards. Killing a token isn't great, but like we could kill this or we could kill Riss. So I think I kind of want that too. Obviously we want the Archfiend still. Eldest Reborn looks a little sus, doesn't it? Gutterbones is pretty bad, but it can block. It's something I'm pretty happy to discard. I don't think it's great. We probably cut it if we go on the play again, which is weird because you'd think that's where you want it. I know it comes into play tapped, but... Well, it comes into play tapped, so it's not blocking early, but like, it can sort of do something. The decks here are so diverse, I don't think we can completely change our deck to be good against everybody, but I don't want to have just no early game and lean entirely on the Wraths, because that deck could get going pretty dang quick. I've done various token strategies. They've all been really fun. I think there have been cards like that that couldn't block. Yeah, and that's one of the reasons it's not in the main deck. Although it was really good from the sideboard against that mill deck we played. The jig is up. We can make the black cat now. Yeah, this is literally just here to block something like that. I think we did that one last week too, didn't we? Divine Intervention shenanigans. Okay. I don't need Gary right now. That's a rough one, because I really wanted to go archive. Conti's alright, though.
Now do you see the benefits of peace? Nothing but a flesh wound.
I'm gonna have enough pieces that we can actually use this. I still need to try to find something like a languish, but... Alright, so this would let me archive Swordtooth and then be ready to Noxious Gearhulk. Because that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I don't think that's good enough. I think I need to find Languish or Vault. I think we're off of this being the plan. Space Godzilla is probably not the plan either, but it's a neat cycling card. Taking out the Tristani will start to do something. But I kind of need Languish right now. Because that's a big problem coming my way. The Ajani's dealt with at least. Nightmare can kill Riss. Am I dead if I don't find the Languish? Because Languish doesn't even kill everything. Languish leaves me at 5, 6, 7. It leaves me taking lethal. That's not going to work. I don't think killing this really works either. I'll gain 7. Block one of these and trade. Can you even play the Sabretooth? Yes, it's colorless. The Angel's an Anthem. That's fair. So if I found the Languish, we could get rid of that. And we'd just be staring at this. So I actually do need to draw for that. Oh yeah, Tristani would take it back, sure. But I think we have to pop this looking for Languish. That's probably the only line that keeps us going. Okay. Elspeth and Swordtooth get in? Huh? We kind of got that one locked up. I don't need to kill that. I think you're thinking of a different card, perhaps. It's not Elspeth Conquers Death. Does that one reference Elspeth too, though? I can't remember the name of the card. Now I want to click on the deck and look at it. What's the 3-mana version? Arena. Hurry up. I want to look at the card. Elspeth's Nightmare. Okay, so literally everything in that set had Elspeth on it. I don't remember those cards particularly well because I didn't play Theros. Well, that's not bad. I'll take a 2-1. That lets us play again. And literally all 3 matches were won by Mono Black. So if you think about it, I'm right. Those of you who are watching on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. If you'd like to watch the stream live and hang out with some cool people, you can do so at www.twitch.tv/Semulin. Chat, say goodbye to YouTube. We'll catch y'all next time. We got some more drafting to do here.